I am joined by my partner in banter, Matt Billany. Hello, Matt.
Hi there.
So, Disney and Universal have banded together and they are suing a startup image generator called Midjourney. This is an AI operation, and it seems that they have allegedly helped themselves to all manner of Disney and Universal characters, and then they come up with characters. Now, I'm going to admit that I have a little bit of an axe to grind here because, as I may have mentioned before, they had trained AI using one of my books without so much as by your leave or here's $5. So I kind of have to admit that I may be a little biased.
Well, and imagine, take your book and then multiply it by the factor of popularity of Homer Simpson and Yoda and Darth Vader and the Minions. So it's a little bit of a higher stakes for Disney and Universal. And no disrespect, this is interesting for a couple of reasons. First of all, these studios have largely stayed on the sidelines of the AI debate over the past couple of years, and people have wondered when they were actually going to pull the trigger and sue one of these companies. Interestingly, Disney and Universal are the ones to do it. They did not include Warner Brothers Discovery, which has all the DC Comics stuff. There's some backstory there that we don't need to get into, but the fact that they're doing this now is significant. And I think the reason is because this company, Midjourney, is about to launch a video generation service where they are going to take images that people submit, whether they are copyrighted or non-copyrighted, and they're going to create videos based on that. And Disney basically looked at that and said, that is a bridge too far. We are suing. We have not gotten any response from you, and see you in court.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain people who are in the Trump world who happen to have interests in AI. So it's an area where you would say they might want to tread a little carefully unless they want to get involved in yet another argument involving the White House.
Well, Trump himself has not specifically come out for or against the use of copyrighted images or words to create AI models. There was the incident at the Copyright Office where the Copyright Office basically was about to issue an opinion saying that it is not fair use to use those images. And the administrator of copyrights was dismissed from the role. And people think that perhaps that had something to do with Elon Musk or the tech lobby. There were other issues as well. But clearly, Disney sees this as a problem. They do not want to get into a public war with Trump on this issue, but suing in federal court is a way to litigate this issue against a very specific company without addressing the larger issue with the Trump administration.
Or dragging Elon Musk or, Jeff Bezos or any number of Trump fans into it. Fair use, to be clear, that's what we used at NPR when we want to use a clip or when a documentarian wants to use a clip. It's not supposed to be so that you can build a profit-making engine that spits out videos.
Well, says you, the courts have not actually...
I agree with myself.
The courts have not actually adjudicated that specific issue to the point where it is settled law. So that's what Disney is afraid of here, is that a body of law will start to develop and perhaps the Justice Department will get involved on the other side. And all of a sudden, it is part of the legal framework that you can do that. And they want to avoid that.
So I assume Midjourney is not Microsoft or OpenAI, and therefore maybe you can take them on a little more easily.
Yeah, that's one reason I think that Midjourney was targeted. Again, there was this impetus where they're about to release a video model. And Disney has sent letters and precursor warnings to companies like OpenAI and Meta. Our colleague Eric Gardner at Puck has written about this subject and doesn't preclude them from suing those companies in the future. But I think the fact that this was a smaller player, less likely to have high-powered lawyers, and Disney feels like they can go up against this company relatively easily. That's why they got targeted.
Well, who knows? Maybe Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos will come in and say, let me help you get the best lawyer money can buy, Midjourney, because we have a ferret in this fight, too.
Or Peter Thiel. He has a history of that.
Oh, yeah, Peter Thiel. Yeah. A lot of players in the tech bros who could involve themselves in this one.
Yeah, another wrinkle here is that Amazon is now part of the Motion Picture Association, which is the Hollywood industry lobbying group that typically would be at the forefront of a piracy type case. The MPA did put out a statement on the subject, but it was not exactly the most forceful statement. And I think that's probably why.
Yes, I think the bedfellows are getting strange at the MPA with Netflix and Amazon in there. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
That's Matt Bellany. We are partners at Puck News.